Hello, I'm a shrimp, and today I set out to build something tiny, and I actually did it. It's a tiny home for fairies. Specifically, just base game and Enchanted by Nature stuff, other than, being a tiny house. It is a micro home. It is the tiniest of tiny homes. And I mean, okay, I wanted to just build something with Enchanted by Nature because I feel like whilst I've incorporated it into other ideas, other builds I've had, I have used it in build mode. But have I built a house specifically just for a fairy? Not quite. Ignoring the part where, like, there's a fairy house out back, and does the fairy actually need this elaborate compared to the size of a fairy house home? Probably not. But is it gonna be fun? Yes. I kind of tried to keep some kind of middle line going in my swatch choices because, yes, it's very meant to be like the woods outside but indoors vibe. But I'm definitely drawn to the darker color swatches, mostly the purple ones, which is fine by me. I would have happily done this entirely in like the purples and dark green swatches, but it wasn't quite what I was going for. I wanted to... Is it fair to say more generic, less generic, more woodsy, less a slightly haunted woodsy vibe, I guess? Listen, purple's like my third favorite color and I like dark things, but I built a haunted library last week, so I was like, let's brighten it up slightly with the wood swatches. And then the bedroom is a little more like in the whites and the greys with some purples and green. It's nice. It's very chill all around, and I'm making creative use of that one wardrobe. I wish they gave it to us like in separate pieces as well. I just wanted a one square standalone. But I was like, fine, I'll make it work as like a little stump outside as well. It's fine. They have a fabulous bathroom. I knew the moment I went into this, I was using that bath and the big windows, and your fairy is going to have a wonderful bath. Or your sim that's obsessed with fairies and is hoping to find them. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's who lives here. It's not a house for fairies. It's a house for a sim that's obsessed with fairies and is hoping to meet them, has built a little fairy house outside, is just absolutely like committed their whole life to the I want to say the pursuit of fairies, but the adventure of running into fairies. They want to find fairies, they want to become a fairy. Maybe that's who we're building for. Also, yes, I had to use the gnome outdoor mat. I still haven't done a lot of Enchanted by Nature like gnome stuff, so I need to listen. I keep getting sidetracked with just playing with all the other occults and their small businesses. I'm trying to get a spellcaster running a business doing tarot readings. It's not quite how I imagined it, but we're working on it. Might incorporate some crystal gemology vibe. I did have a ghost that lives in the house as well, like it's her mother, who has a gem business, but I might just combine them. I don't know. Totally side point though. Yeah, the dark purple came out in those because I was like, okay, it can look a bit more, because the outside looks all, regular woodsy. Granted, yes, we're over in Everdew, isn't it? It's a little bit more magically forest vibes, but the roof can be nice and purple and magical with your little outside. Well, not dresser up area, because I don't think you'll be able to use the wardrobe magically through the wall backwards. That would be impressive if your sim could do it, but no. But I set up a little I can't remember it's not gazebo. Listen, the Enchanted by Nature outdoor cover stand goes out there too. And the nice little lit up thing. And honestly, this is my favorite pond I've ever made because it actually just came out perfectly round and not too giant, not too small. First time. I felt so lucky with that. If I were a sim today, my luck would be good. Very, very good. Also, just to readdress the chair in the bathroom, for one, yes, just comfy vibes. Maybe they just want to go in there, sit, enjoy the big windows. Not necessarily to sit in the bath, okay? But also, as you noticed, I was very close to using the yellow swatch with the bee cushion. And oh boy, do I want to make a maybe tiny home, maybe not, but I've built a bee themed house once before and I want to do it again. I want to do it with all the updated items. I want to use that chair. I also have an idea for a little beehive, like honey selling small business, so maybe this could be a combo idea. Who knows? Who knows? It would make sense, you know, small business residential, right? Right? Yes, the moment where I went, but did I want a fireplace? And I contemplated putting it outside and I was like, no. You know what? Does the fairy need a fireplace? No. Now that I'm like, gee, but maybe it's just gonna be a regular sim who wants to meet fairies living here, maybe they could have used a fireplace, but you know what? They can just build a little campfire outside. It'll be fine. And speaking of items that are not in this build, that could be in this build, I really like, if I was using more packs, / if I play with this house, I think I will definitely put a picnic blanket down. Probably by the like big, well lit up tree, but also over by the pond would be a very nice setting as well. Maybe a blanket on both sides. Just enjoy the outdoors. Speaking of outdoors, there's not like, yes, there's a pond, there's some nice seating areas, there's the fairy house, and there's the little mirror area, and some nice fencing that is purely decorative rather than boundary, because actually, like, enclosed fencing felt not the vibe. But obviously the fencing stuff does not take up the most of this lot. For one, so you can place this down in other worlds on smaller lots and hopefully not have to adjust too much. For two, I just picture if this stays, you know, the sim lives in this on a bigger lot, there'll just be a lot of gardening, some animals and stuff dotted around. Like, there's not really a need for much more beyond the landscaping immediately around the house. Everything else, man, it's gonna be little mini goats and sheep. It's gonna be so many plants. Maybe a swimming pool. Who knows? You know, depending. Like, there's all those outdoor options. You know it. I know it. The Sims know it. Also, like, I'm sure there's something in debug. I'm not sure, but why don't we have the big magical mushrooms just in the normal catalog? Like, you gave us a fairy pack and you didn't give us magical mushrooms in, like, the main accessible part? Seriously? Yeah, that's my only gripe. My only gripe at this moment. Do I know I could access mushrooms in the game in general? Yes. Could I just plant the actual colourful mushrooms in the game? Absolutely. But do I think it's a missed opportunity that there could not be more mushrooms in the easily accessibleness of build and buy? Yes. And can you imagine, you know, more? Give me like a mushroom that's a fairy house as well. There'd be so many cute options. Welcome to the screenshots. Nighttime does it more justice. It looks much more magical. Also, I feel like I love building tiny homes, but trying to take the screenshots of them, I'm like, I probably should have brought a sim in and taken live mode once, but you know what, it probably wouldn't have been much better. But you know what you're looking at. You know what cozy, magical, fairy cabin-y cottage in the woods. If the mic picked that up, don't mind my cat attacking her squeaky mouse. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my ramble. Please let me know what you are building or like what storylines you're playing in your games. And I will see you next time with hopefully, well, there'll definitely be future Sims builds, and I'm hoping to get back on the little sim world train. I have some stuff scheduled. I will hopefully get to more things. I want to do all of the things all of the time.